Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Pro modcasts this side of East Yorkshire. And today I've got a 1 vs 1 on Blood River Remixed. Playing as the Orks, we've got Tonkatasucks, and playing as the Imperial Guard, we have got Blueman52. Blueman will be opening up with some guardsmen, well, 2 guardsmen in fact, a plasma generator and an infantry command, whereas the Orks are going to go for some shooter boys, a grot squad, generator, and a boys hut. So I must say, these Imperial Guardsmen are quite fancy looking boys in their pink regalia. Definitely won't be hiding in the green bushes anytime soon, not with that kind of colour scheme going on there. Gonna go for their command squad, which is right and proper in the old build order department. Probably will see a big mech coming from this boys hut unless anything too strange and askew go awry. Gonna be opening up with shooter boys rather than slugger boys, as it tends to make sense up here against the Imperial Guard. Kind of hard to chase after guys and force them into close combat, especially when these guys don't really want to be there. But yeah, this it's quite a good matchup. Nothing too crazy for either players to really worry about in the early game. Both have got quite... there we go, like I said, the big mech will be coming out. But yeah, like I said, I'd say in the early game they've got quite similar strategies to go for. They get their commanders out, try and do their commandery things by engaging in close combat and pressuring certain strategic or relic points. And with shooter boys and guardsmen, well, they kind of do the same. They just shoot things and hope for the best. Pray to their either God Emperor or Gork and Mork, whichever one catches their fancy. Commander, gonna go for... we're gonna go for double commissars now. That's interesting. Normally in Dawn of War Pro, you've got to upgrade your infantry command with a... what's it called? A Telepathica Temple or a Ministorum Temple, whichever one you want. However, he's not going to do that. He's just going to go double Commissar. Commissar's able to increase the ranged accuracy and morale, obviously, for anyone nearby. Do believe that the effect stacks as well. Not sure if it stacks in the same unit there. But hey-ho. Orcs being captured into a corner. Nowhere for them to really go. But... alright, oh well, we've got more shooter boys over here. But these guys should be alright. Should be able to take them on. No. Now that there's 2 shooter boy squads, yeah, that's a tricky situation indeed. These guys aren't the most numerous when it comes to health or armour, so we'll have to run away as quick as humanly possible. But these slugger boys, really cheeky. A little bit of body blocking going on there. Both commissars go down. Imagine that you're qualified to be a commissar, you grow through the ranks, finally get to be part of the command squad, and on your first day on the job, instantly killed by these shooter boys. Commander, very nearly getting to that listening post, but that's a very sad time. These guardsmen have also been taken down by the sheer mass of shooter boys over on this side. So it looks like that the western relic is being taken by the Orcs, eastern relic being taken by the guardsmen. Critical location in the centre having been caught by the guardsmen as well. And what is your plan, Mr. Blueman52? You are going to go for triple plasma generators and tactical control, which is quite a lot of green money for this stage of the game. I mean, you've not even upgraded your listing purse yet, so what is the plan? Just like a quick... what's your economy at the moment? Oh, you're vying for a quick tier 2, aren't you? That's my thinkings. Whether I'm correct or not, we shall see. We do have the big mech, who's currently not gone for any of his flashy gubbins. Doesn't have his teleporter at the moment. But we shall see. He'll probably get that at some point. It's very rare that you would not see that upgrade. There we go, tier 2 for the guardsmen. Tactical control finished, so these guys can go for their either light flamers or grenade launchers. Either or will be amazing against the Orcs. They don't have fantastic morale. And also those grenade launchers just cause issues with their ability to stand up. I see a second settlement on the way. So I imagine that Tonkat is thinking about beefing up this big mech, as you can get loads of extra upgrades for your hero if you have a captured relic and 2 HQ units, or building, sorry. A mechanized command on the way. So what, just chimeras, chase around the map, use your maneuverability to strike the Orcs where they're weakest. I mean, down here they've got a listing post, pile of guns, and the settlement, so that'd be an ideal place to scoot along and get a few bits of damage done. Shooter boys now with their big shooters not quite going in as of yet. They don't feel too confident. Attacking the guardsmen in a defensive posture is quite a daunting task at the best of times. Current economies are 101 and 40 compared to 120 and 20. Orks are one war banner away from tier 2 themselves. Settlement has finished. No one moving at the moment. Guardsmen getting as many boys as they can. One feature for the guardsmen, if you're not familiar with Dawn of War Pro, the more boys you have, the higher squad cap you've got for your vehicles. Which I quite like. It's an interesting mechanic. We go for some Hellhounds, which will be quite good against the infantry. But the shooter boys in Dawn of War Pro, they are able to upgrade themselves with a rocket launcher. So they will be able to transition later on down the line into anti-tank stuff. Should they choose. Come on, boys. Do something. I'll fast forward you just a smidgen. Get some fighting done. There we go. Moving forward. I knew it would happen eventually. Got these grots dancing back and forth in the disco lights of the Imperial long-range scan. Hellhound charging forward. Bright flames are going. And this listing post looks like it'll be quick to kill. Doom being witnessed as these guys are being bounced around by the Psychers. Lots of Psychers in these ranks. Oh, and all these guys are going to go for flames as well, so here's the idea. It's just sauteing these Portobello Orks here. Flash frying, if you will. But yeah, the shoot boys are going to have difficulty with these double Psychers about. Able to reduce incoming range damage by 15%? Question mark, he says. Decorated officers' weapons research on the way as well. So these guys will have additional power to bring. Plasma pistols and all the usual stuff. More Bernie, more boom research, so maybe some burners on these guys. Maybe it's going to be fire-on-fire action. Well, if you can't handle the heat, stop being hot and have a drink. That's the old saying. Going to see a heavy las cannon team. Just in case the Orks get any fresh ideas by building up some, war tracks. War tracks, yep, okay, that's fair enough. Should be able to deal with the Hellhounds. Hellhounds are not good against vehicles, if the unit card is correct. Guardsmen as well also don't have any anti-vehicle weaponry. You're going to have to rely on those heavy weapons teams, which are quite unmovable. Or immovable? Lack maneuverability, whatever fancy singular word would be for that. Speaking of singular words, one dude goes about his business, capturing this critical location on his own. He's looking for that field promotion.
Objective secured.
Orks are now going to move in for a counter-attack. They see the big pink box from the sky and think, no mate, pink ain't the best colour, it's all about being green. These slugger boys with a little bit of a charge animation come in. Not going to escape these beasties anytime soon. These guardsmen are just going to do what they can by distracting these for as long as humanly possible. Trying to see if they can get that critical location, but it was all folly, all for naught. One chopper been brought down across the clavicle of another human being. Going to see some more heavy las cannon teams. Not sure if las cannons are the way forward. There's only one war track, but then again, I suppose you need something, don't you? Need a little something. Also going to get a commissar on the way as well. Nothing extra coming from the field command, but Vindicare Assassin. Alrighty-roo. Not a bad choice. Able to snipe away infantry and heavy infantry. Also, that big mech will have to stay attached to another troop should he want to stay alive. Slugger Boy's going to give these war tracks some vision, doing the old back and forth. In fact, do you not have vision without them? Oh yeah, you need those guys just to give you that little extra bit of line of sight. But that thing goes down. And realistically, the Orks have the lion's share of map control at the moment. They've got the army size to control all this. And, oh, they haven't decapped this. That's interesting. Normally you would think with the sheer mass of boys that you have, should be able to spread across the map, considering that the Imperial Guard seem to be doing a little bit of turtling. which is a completely and totally viable tactic. No shame being brought there. It is kind of what they do. But then, obviously, with a map like this, if you do end up turtling, you do lose control of both of the relics. And also find it very difficult to defend this strategic point. Got a bit of a push going on. Tank Busters invisible in the river. Close combat orientated, throwing a big boom in the middle. Shooter boys using their big shooters to full effect. But the moment they come across this infantry command, they're not really going to be having a very Merry Christmas. War tracks, three of them, will be coming down. Settlement has been taken down in a big fiery blaze of glory. Not quite getting down there quick enough, I'm afraid. But it does look like... Oh no, both Hellhounds have managed to do that. And then survive. So yeah, I can understand why sometimes when you see someone turtling you think, right, I need to constantly bash them, but in that circumstance, yeah, just let them have it. Let them have their little piece of land, capture everything else, sit back on your economy, have a gay old time. But now that the Orks have moved out and they've been focusing down over onto this side, the Imperial Guard can now push out. Or not push out. What are you thinking, Mr. Blue Man? What's going on in that head of yours? Oh, Lehman Russ. Right, okay, so you're going to wait for some bigger units to come out and play. Hellhounds were having a think about coming out. But unsupported, they might find it a little bit difficult. Need to make sure that they are well within the protective realms of the Guardsmen's firing lines. We'll see the second settlement being rebuilt down over here. Got a big green thing shining over here. The Spirit of Gork and or Mork jumping in and being witnessed. Sure boys over here have got their flash gate knob. Additional firepower. Guardsmen over here been killed quite quickly, but oh, that's very unfortunate. Big Mech first thing to go down, which means that the morale regeneration for these guys is going to be quite low. And with the Hellhounds on the field, that's not what you want, but a little bit of pathing issues going on here. Come on, guys, move out the way. Vindicare Assassin in the middle of everyone. Yet to be touched by Slugger or Shooter. But very low health, only 315. Be very careful with him. Lost booby bits, breaking the morale of the Slugger boys quite quickly, but the Hellhound does get taken out by the sheer amount of war tracks. Even the Lehman Russ isn't going to be surviving this for very long. It's not been upgraded with any of its anti-vehicle stuff, and actually there's no anti-vehicle stuff for the Imperial Guard at the moment, so don't really have a major response to these war tracks. They'll get them eventually by the sheer amount of firepower that they have, but not quickly enough to save that Lehman Russ. Could have pulled that back a little bit. You're going to see another war truck being built up, as well as extra vehicular armour. And, oh, you've gone for your Orky fort as well. So, Big Mech on the way, as well as some Ard boys. Nothing high-tech there. You're going to see a Mars pattern command on the way. Heavy Lascannon team has been woken up, ready to reposition and redeploy. Who's got the one over here? Ah, sir. Imperial Guard now going for both the relics. War trucks, a whole smorgasbord of them now coming over. And the Imperial Guard's base is open. Free real estate here. Guardsmen down here trying to hold off these shooter boys. In fact, will manage to do it. Breaking the morale and pushing them all the way back home. And, oh, just the accuracy on these war trucks. It breaks my heart sometimes. If their accuracy was even like 10% better, their DPS output would be absolutely phenomenal. And it still is, to be fair, but the amount of times that they miss is not very healthy. But tier 3 for the Imperial Guard. As you can tell by a little tower on top of their HQ. Got some guardsmen chilling out over on this side. They've got that critical location. Critical location in the centre will be decapped by these Ard boys.
4 minutes until taken hold victory.
And it seems that the Orks are going to copy by going for some looted Lehman Russes. Who's killing you, young man? Are you being killed by the... by the Vindicare Assassin? Do have the Big Mech repairing all these war trucks, which is quite nice. Vindicare now been spotted, will fall back ASAP. Big Mac jumping in. Grenade being thrown at the Vindicator Assassin. Everyone trying to get a couple of shots off on him, but manages to slink away in the darkness. We do have Symbol of the Office Order Xenos, which I'm sure does something not pleasant towards aliens. Imperial Guard with a Psyker in their ranks, being surrounded now by the Green Menace. The unit looks like it's going to be wiped out from existence here. Psyker being slapped around. And the Field Command nicely placed here, but not going to survive very long at all. It seems that the Imperial Guard have moved away from their use of fire. Oh, that gets the Inquisitor out. Right, that makes sense. Ignore me then. That's what that research does. Satellite targeting resolution on the wane. Increasing the range and damage of Guardsman las cannon stuff. And the Inquisitor comes out. Now he's got the biggest, meanest AoE Exterminatus thing I've done it ever seen in Dawn of War Pro. Okay, he sits it down there. And it's going to be infiltrates. No one will see it coming. But all the Orks are managing to maneuver away from this now. But just look at this. It's just a thing of beauty. Maybe used a bit prematurely. And the Inquisitor's actually... Oh dear. Oh no. Oh no. This is a sad time. Oh well, you know what? You never exterminate your own doorstep. That's what you don't do. I'm sure there was just a tech priest here were just face palming as that was going on. The Orcs having a good old giggle about it. And now they think, right, okay, well, thank you for the fireworks. We'll just carry on fighting now. Hard boys taking the frontal position, throwing grenades about the place. Sure boys picking up the rear, got a looted tank in there as well. More flamers there to hopefully break the morale of the front lines, of which they will succeed to do. Imperial Guard using the basis structures to help them with their defense. Hard boys are going to fall back, but they've managed to distract things for long enough for the Orcs to maybe potentially get this listing post down. Big Mac was also using his little shieldy thing to reduce the amount of incoming range damage. Baneblade on the way there. That's going to be a major problem for the Orcs, unless they get something substantial out themselves. Guardsmen being inspired by everyone and anyone around them. Well, by the Commissar specifically, I suppose. Multiple layers of buffs going on here as well. Got the Psychers, you've got the Commissar. Really nice little attention to detail in Dawn of War Pro mod. Yeah, really, like, if you feel the impact of the heroes more than just their unique special abilities, like their actual active buffs are quite noticeable. And here comes the Baneblade. And this is going to be a bit of a touch and go moment for the Orcs. The Baneblade isn't immortal, it isn't impossible to kill. But in saying that, he just one-shots the Big Mech. That's quite sad. So the Orcs probably have no other choice but to retreat. Satellite relay beacon being popped down again by the Inquisitor. I don't think it's going to hit. I think this is going to be the worst decision they've ever made, ever. Oh no, this is... Or are you just going to... Does it just stay there and it doesn't automatically activate? Huh. Oh, okay, fair enough. That's just going to stay there. I wouldn't feel comfortable if I was a guardsman and I saw the Inquisitor get blown up earlier on and they put down another one. I'd want to stand away from him quite quickly. Right, so what's the Orcs' plan at the moment? I just assume tank busters forever and ever. Going to go for another Big Mech. Should be able to zap them with his tank zapper. More war tracks. Ooh. Not entirely sure. The Baneblade quite good at destroying vehicles with its big cannon. It's good at destroying everything, really. Maybe the idea would be kill all the supporting units as quick as possible. Much like an old raid boss, you take out the adds before you take on the main. Got some storm boys going around on the northern side, but just a sheer amount of booms coming in from the Baneblade, really causing some issues for the Orcs here. Then again, the bomb chuckers and the looted Lehman Russ is actually also doing a serious number on these guardsmen as well. We do have... there we go, satellite relay beacon being popped here. Now infiltrated. Unseen, unheard of. There we go. Success. Raining fire from down the sky. Boy, you love to see it. Devastation in their wake. Leman Russ continuing to fire. Sorry, the Baneblade even. Orks are going to move forward a bit, see if they can get some stuff on a big zapper on the Baneblade, and here comes the big mech, going to jump inside the tank. You can feel every inch of his haft, of his axe, sorry. And the big mech goes down again. But he did a fair amount of damage. Once he got in that close combat, it was alright. Hard Boys are going to continue the chase. Baneblade going to fall back. The Storm Boys over here capturing some bits and bobs. More guardsmen coming in for firing support. Got Leman Russ as well, but Leman Russ is struggling a little bit against these war tracks. Might need to bring up a... Ah, there we go. Tech Priest Engines here to repair this bad boy. And now the Orcs' numbers are quite dwindled. Storm Boys are going to jump over on the side. See if they can kill some of the chaff. Looted Leman Russ, taking a lot on the chin. Seeing if he can trade away his life for this guy, but no, does not look like it. We'll start to fall back. Storm Boys absolutely turning every guardsman into mince as they go about. Jump away with some models left. But only one model left. One lonely orc in the world. So the defense of the Orcs have been quite solid. I did not expect them to last this long when the Baneblade came out. Still not looking amazing for them. As the big mech can do that thing again. And if those Storm Boys can continue being incredibly useful. Now he's going to go in for some base trades though. Maybe not what you want from them at this stage of the game. But Grots are keeping these Lurid Leman Russes fighting fit and healthy. Big mech back on the field. Baneblade being repaired by the Tech Priest Engine Seers. But is this going to be enough? Big mech teleport straight in. Gets a big zap in there. Although going to use his pistol. Oh goodness, it's like that scene in Saving Private Ryan. When the big tank's coming towards Tom Hanks. And he's like, well, what if my pistol can do the job? Activating his don't hit me with long range ability, whatever it's called. And we have got an explosion somewhere. Oh, from there. Knocking the guardsmen every which way. Boomy bits everywhere. Guardsman lasagna being left across the battlefield. But the Baneblade still standing strong. Leman Russ on its way out. And we've just got this constant stream of guardsmen always reinforcing whatever guardsmen that fall. One war truck or one war track left to fend off this mighty tank from the Imperium. Blueman52 very cheekily throws in a GG. He knows he's got Tonkata up against the ropes and... Oh, fair enough. He surrenders. And yes, okay, fair enough. The Baneblade's out. Every time they get a new squad out, it's going to be instantly killed by the Baneblade anyway, so not much they could really do in the grand scheme of things. I mean, how much economy... Oh, can't tell because obviously he's not on the battlefield anymore. But, yeah, okay, nice one. Yeah, it was quite back and forth. Lovely use of flamers all the way through the game. Very aesthetically pleasing. But yeah, cool. If you like the video, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you one extra game a week. And also, there's a Discord where Discord things happen. My name has been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure as always, never short. I'll see you in a bit. Peace.